Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Secrets of Grindea. Unfortunately, the next 4 episodes are kind of screwed up because the microphone audio didn't record for some reason. I'm not too sure why. It doesn't entirely matter at this point. But I recorded the 4 episodes, and I didn't do a test before recording even the first episode, and I didn't double check after recording any of the episodes. So it is entirely my fault. Well, mostly my fault. I'm not entirely sure why it decided to stop, but yeah. So unfortunately, the next 4 episodes are not going to have the audio that I recorded while I was playing. So you'll have to do with audio that was recorded after the fact. Sorry. It'll probably be worse than what was actually being said, just because I remember having at least a few relevant things to be said. So yeah. For right now, we are in the Collector's HQ. We are talking to Quentin to get our main quest going. My bad. And he is going to give us a quest to bring a teleporter pad, which is the little pads with stone pads with the wings on it. That you see, that I think we've seen 2 of them up to now. Yeah, collector's teleporter pad, and he wants us to put that in the not in the pumpkin woods, but to the east of the pumpkin woods, right in front of a new temple that they discovered to make it easier to travel to and from, just to make it easier to investigate. So, as I decided to do this episode, instead of going for the main quest, I'm gonna go look around town, figure out what exactly kind of side quests I can find. I think I get 3 or 4 of them. Oh yeah, and my PS4 controller disconnects and reconnects because I don't have an actual PS4 micro USB? I don't remember the exact name of it, but I don't have that connector type that is specific to PS4, which would probably stick better into a PS4 controller. I just have the one that came with my Intuos tablet. So, I'm using that for right now. I'll probably switch out fairly soon. No, I'll probably have to wait like a month. I'm not exactly filthy rich, so I'm probably gonna have to wait to buy one of those. But anyways, yeah. So this episode is just trying to get side quests, going around, talking to people. I think I talked to almost everybody in the town, so that's pretty much all we're doing. There's this guy that is oh, I was wondering what I was doing. There's the guy at the bottom of the stairs that just keeps eating. He's got a ham shank or a drumstick or turkey drumstick or something. He's just eating it and then disappointed that the dinner room is not open. And then there's the guys that are running back and forth through the hallways. Yeah, like that one that has the cart with an arrow on top of it, and then the one that has the papers spilling out. I was trying to figure out if they had any use, but you can't talk to them and you can't pick up what they have. And there's the guy that I'm talking to right now called Wedge, and then the guy that's at the railing called Ledge. So I was guessing that the next guy was going to be called Hedge. He's not, he's called Biggs, as you can see. It's just, yeah. The commentary is going to be stepped down quite a bit from what it usually is, which it usually isn't all that great. So, yeah, gonna have to deal with that. And then there's these two assholes, the hoity-toity nobles, or the noble and his assistant. I'm not too sure what the brown-haired guy is, but the teal-haired guy is an asshole. And then I find out that you can redo your fights with bosses. So I'm gonna redo the fight with Giga Slime, because it says if it didn't drop anything the first time around, you can fight him again and possibly get more drops, better drops. And later on, I'm not sure if it's in this episode, I look into what drops he has, and he's got 2 drops. And from the first fight, I got none of them. The fight that I'm doing right now, I don't believe I get any. The hell is that? Not sure. There's a noise. I'm not sure if you heard it. I don't believe I get anything from technically the second fight that I do against him, which is this fight. I don't believe I get anything, but I do get something the second time I fight him. And did you just see that? He's got a freaking hammer on his forehead, or the top of his slime body. Which is the first time I've ever seen that. I'm hearing like music or something. Sorry about that if you can hear it. Probably can't, but, you know, still, sorry. So yeah, there's this. Just the spinning attack. It's generally a fairly boring fight. Well, not boring, but it's not as exciting as possibly other fights could be. Though I just barely made it through that because I was being a moron. And then I talked to Oldman. And he is just the guy that takes care of the boss fight, the reliving boss fights thing. Used to be collector, but right now it's just taking care of this. Cleaning stuff up, I'm assuming. So yeah. Yeah, I'm really debating whether or not I just scrap these or fast forward them. I'm not too sure, but for right now, I'll see how it goes. If it goes not terribly, then I might continue doing this, but if it goes fairly awful, then I'll probably switch this, just say, this is the general things we did, this is a boss fight, this is another one. Because we fought 2 bosses, and then 4 mini bosses. There's that one, the other one. I don't want to spoil them, so I'm not saying the names of them, but there was 2 bosses in the temple, because we do go into it. That's on episode 4, like the end of episode 3 and the entirety of episode 4 is that's what we do. We fight, we go into the temple and we fight the 2 bosses there. And then before that we're in the pumpkin woods trying to get there. And we've got to do a few quests before we can get there. And we had to fight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mini bosses. Which is just like an elite monster. If you've played... The only thing I can think of right now is World at War. There's like elites that are tougher than regular enemies, but are generally the same thing. It's like that, and you can obviously tell when some enemy is an elite, because they've got a glowing halo on the floor, just a glowing ring that grows bigger and smaller, that just fluctuates around them. And right now I'm wondering whether I want to save up for the headgear with the rabbit thing or the apple hat headgear. I decide the apple hat because I don't think I want to just straight defense, and it's probably not going to last for all that long. I'm probably going to switch it out fairly early on. In this fight, is this the second time I fought him? I don't remember. I think it is. I got the cube of slime. And that can be used for a piece of armor and a 2-handed weapon, I believe. 2-handed weapon and the armor, yeah. I'm probably not going to use them because they seem like big tanky things, and I'm going for more of a sword swordsman, magician, magic swordsman type thing. Speedy, agile, which kind of mean the same thing, but anyways. With a bit of magic interspersed. And also, I get a bow and arrow later on. That thing is amazing. It's the fucking bee's knees. You can machine gun that, and it is just fantastic. I think we get it either late this no, not this episode. I think we get it next episode. I believe so. Actually, I'm not too sure. Yeah, next episode, because the episode after that is in the Pumpkin Woods, and then this episode is entirely in the just the general town area. So we are now, after the boss fight, we are now in the labyrinth. No, not labyrinth. We're now in the scientists' quarters, where they're trying to figure stuff out. There's not a lot that you learn from here. It's just kind of a bit of exposition about just what they're doing. Not all that important. But I do find out that my dad is the main scientist, which I did not know. He might have told it at some point, I just didn't read it or something, I'm not too sure. But he says it's not going to make it any easier for us to climb up the ranks, which is absolutely fine. And then I try to steal stuff from that pile, but to no avail. And now I'm going just exploring around the town, talking to pretty much everyone I can. I didn't talk to the sculptor, and I didn't talk to the guy cleaning the windows. I just didn't even think of doing that. They don't have a exclamation point over their heads, so that's fine. Yeah, the shady guy down there, I suspect, is a fence for stolen goods. So I immediately go there and buy stuff. He does look shady, and it is his name, Shady Merchant. And this is pretty much here that I decide I want to be magic swordsman. I want more magic attack or magic energy, and I want attack speed. So I go for the magic attack and the attack speed cast speed rings, since you can apparently have 2 accessories. So I will take full opportunity. Yeah, my bad. Full opportunity. I'm not too sure how you would say that, but I go with the magic attack ring, and yeah, down. It's taking me a while to figure out. Well, maybe I want this one or this one, but I end up just going, nah, I want this one. Let's stick with this one. And then I'm trying to figure out what I want to sell, because I got the new apple hat. I don't need the other 2 slime hats, which is just a drop from the normal slimes, and they sell for 500 a pop. Ridiculous. And everything else is, except for like some equipment stuff, everything else is surprisingly cheap and doesn't give you all that much money to sell. This is one of the guys that we found, that we saw in the arena prep room, and apparently he didn't pass. And he's very jealous of us and all the hard work that we're going to be doing in the future. And then this guy that I'm assuming is a moron, and his son, who is apparently very smart. I'm trying to ring the bell to no avail. There's the little girl here who apparently has a quest. That's what the exclamation point points to, I should say. She says that she was on a date with somebody. I got no clue who. She said the name, but I wasn't looking. And she'll pay handsomely for the ring, with apparently a ring and some experience, which seems weird that she would give us the ring back, or she's giving us another. I'm not too sure what was I was fairly confused when I was going through that at the time. And apparently, as I just learned there, you can look at what all the loot that the enemies give you are. I don't know. So I was looking. I got everything with green slime. Rabby, I'm missing a thing. And then can't get anything out of Freddy, Teddy, and Villia. I'm still missing a thing from the Giga Slime, which looks like a crystal of some description. And then that's all I found. Got everything from Mr. B and Blumo. So I'm missing the Rabby and Giga Slime for right now to get all the loot from everything that I've seen. And then I just keep going around talking to random people. Trying to find if there's absolutely anything worthwhile just from talking to them. And this, she just tells me stuff that I already knew. He tells me stuff that I already knew. I don't know if you can switch controls, if you can switch keybinds if you're using a controller. It doesn't really matter. They're pretty alright as they are. So I'm probably not going to mess around with it. And then there's these three guys. Ni, San, and Ichi. And Ni is two-handed. San is bowman, and Ichi is a one-handed swordsman. I'm not sure why San would be the bowman. I don't get what that is. But Ichi, Ni, and San in Japanese is 1, 2, and 3. So the one-handed swordsman is called 1, two-handed swordsman is called 2, and the bowman is 3. I'm not entirely sure where that goes with that, but it doesn't entirely matter. Probably because he has a bowman, he has a bow with the string and the arrow, that makes 3 things. I'm not too sure. Anyway, and then Ryu, which I think means dragon. I'm not entirely sure what that means, and I haven't looked it up because I just didn't bother. Nah, that's not true. It's because I forgot. Completely different. I was gonna look it up, but I thought at the end of last episode, at the end of this episode, we didn't do much, so I thought I'll go continue with what we were going to do, and then I just forgot to look up what Ryu was. Which I suppose I could do right now, but that's fine. Apparently those dolls don't do anything. And that dude looks frickin' weird. Just absolutely bizarre. I don't know why he weirds me out that much. And I was expecting for him to be like, have some sort of challenge regarding, I don't know, swordsmanship, or I don't know, I was expecting him to give us some sort of like challenge, like in Wind Waker. Well, in a lot of Zelda games, but in Wind Waker specifically is what I'm thinking of. The swordsman in the starting island that you can train with. I was expecting it to be a bit like that. Just because this game has a lot of Zelda stuff in it. And the fisherman is called Haddock. Which is funny because that's a type of fish. And I'm fairly sure I tried to make a joke about him having a favorite kind of fish. It was a botched joke, it didn't work with shit. But I tried. Which I suppose counts for at least a little bit. And I thought he gave me a quest, but apparently he didn't. He just gave me a fishing rod. And also Simon, which is, I'm assuming, a reference to Simon and Lewis from the Yogscast, has a whole bunch of maps. And we try to do that next time around. Next episode. We get most of them, do we? We get a few of them, but there's still some that we're missing. that I... One that's a riddle. It, like, some of the treasure maps have images that show like a black and white and gray tone image of where it is with an X marking where the treasure itself is. And a lot of them are like that, and I found most of them. I'm just missing one of them, which I probably can find. I just haven't gone through a lot of the areas yet. And I try to play a game with that guy. Just as a side note, I try to play a game with that guy. He doesn't let you play games. And then there's one, to go back to the maps, there's one map that has a riddle attached to it. And I kinda know I'm assuming I know where the general vicinity of where the treasure map is. I'm not entirely sure though, so I'm gonna have to work on that. And then she's telling me to go do a quest to find Grandpa Joe, who is the guy that is at the top of the stairs, at the bottom of the map, at the top of the stairs of the first place that you're at, your starting village. So that's what I'm going to go do at the start of next episode. Just as a little heads up there. And you get some sort of a reward from it. A shirt that is more suited towards warriors than mages, because it gives defense. Instead of the one that I get from this place, which is magic attack, I believe. And I thought that he was a girl just from the sprite, but from the name, it's obvious that he's a guy, Mr. Fabulous. And there is the general headwear accessory slot, but the glasses, apparently that's a separate thing. And eyewear is separate from headwear. They have the distinction there. So I buy those, because why wouldn't I? It's free stats. Well, 300 worth, but basically free stats. And then I equip them, increase the magic attack by a bit. And then I go to the potion shop, I believe. Yep. I don't actually buy anything, because I don't feel like there's anything that I need. Though, looking back, I maybe should have bought one or two things to make the boss fights easier. Actually, I get potions later on and I don't even use them. I'm just thinking about that now, and I've got 3 potions and I've never used them. Well, whatever. And I talk to him and he says the potion to a thing, the recipe to a potion, and then I remember calling him a weirdo and then just leaving. And then there's the blacksmith. I might buy something from him. I think I buy, yeah, actually I think I buy a mage's robe from him. He sells armor and weapons. Well, she sells armor and weapon. And her sister is apparently the one that makes most of the stuff, which is somewhat strange. So I buy the second one, the one that is right next to the chainmail. That one right there. Robe of Energy, which increases... Oh, I don't see the stats anymore. Jeez. Increases... Oh, come on, go on a bit more. I want to read what it is. EP regen and magic attack. So I buy that. And I can apparently buy the sword and the shield and the twigs in case I want to build more of the craftables, because there are some of them that you have to use one of them, but it consumes it in the crafting recipe, and there's like 2 different paths that you can take. So I want to build all of them, So it's nice to know that you can buy the component, at least the component part that you can't get anywheres, that I didn't think you could get anywheres. And then there's these two assholes. Yeah, that I get somewhat pissy about. Well, not really pissy, but that if I could, I totally would kill. Which I suppose would probably equate to pissy, but it's a video game. And then I try to open that door, but it obviously doesn't work because they're closed. And then I just go to the right side, try to look if there's anything around here, and then how the hell did you get over there? I have no clue, but I'm assuming we're going to find out at some point, or maybe we're never going to be able to get there, or maybe you can get like a boat or a bridge ability. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out later, obviously. Or maybe it's just not implemented yet. Yeah, I don't know. And I got a level up there. I try to fish there, but there's no fish there. It's very obvious when there's a place to fish, because there's little fish swimming in that area. As you can see to the right of us, up in the top right corner, there's the little fish swimming in the lake. Can't see it right now, but you could see it a bit earlier, and you're going to be able to see it now. So there's the fish there, so that it's fairly obvious when there's a place that you can fish. And here I'm trying to figure out how the fishing minigame works, because I did it once during the... I messed it up. I did it once during the tournament, but I didn't really know exactly how it worked, so here I'm trying to figure it out again. And it's kind of fun. It's not nearly as relaxing as it possibly could have been, but yeah, it's pretty alright. Now I'm trying to figure out what I want to put my points in, and I put it in Spirit Slash, cause I really like that ability, cause you can use it and then keep fighting while it's being used. But later on, I do end up putting points into the Strike Dash ability, just because I want another melee ability, and then I put points in the Dodge Strike as well, I believe, just to get some more variety in it, which was a good idea. Maybe not so much for the Dodge Strike, because I'm not entirely comfortable with using it yet, but the Dash Strike, that one's awesome. It's basically like a hit and run ability, which is quite nice. I'm not sure if I do a bit more fishing or not, but yeah. Yeah, I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just acting like oh. Yep. The PS4 controller disconnected. Reconnects again. And then, are we good? Or does it not work? Apparently it doesn't work. I'm probably cursing a fair amount right now. Well, I probably was cursing a fair amount. Oh, there it works. I was probably explaining just the cable situation. So, yeah. This is the end of the episode. We'll start next episode by going up to the top of the thing, doing a bit of fishing, and a few other things. Hope you enjoyed the episode. See you guys next time.